In Final Fantasy XIV, there are 3 main difficulties of content. You have your normal trials and raids. These are set-piece fights that are generally cinematic parts of a story. Because most trials are tied to the main scenario quests, and basically all raids are tied to the raid quest line, these are designed to be beaten by basically anyone, and the fights are generally pretty easy and don't require a lot of coordination from players. After that, we have the extreme and savage versions of trials and raids. These fights require actual strategy and planning from players before going in. Instead of having the game pat you on your head and call you a silly goober if you mess up a mechanic, it will instead go for the throat and probably just kill you. If enough people fail a mechanic, or God forbid, one person fails the mechanic, you could lose the fight right there and then. Not to mention the boss now has an invisible timer before they get sick of you and decide, actually, you don't get to live anymore. The savage tier of any given patch is generally considered end game, as it gives you best in-slot gear, and the further you get into the tier, the more challenging the fights get. Generally. But there is one tier of fights above both of these that proves a greater challenge. A tier of fights that makes savage raiders and casuals alike quake in their boots. Content so difficult that most people will never even see it. This is where the hardest content in the game lies. And no, I'm not talking about the Fall Guys event. Ultimate fights are the hardest type of content in Final Fantasy XIV. While savage fights generally have players dealing with 2 or 3 complex reoccurring mechanics in a 10-minute fight, ultimates are 15 to 20-minute gauntlets, where developers throw every sadistic mechanic they can think of your way. These fights test every skill you would ever need when raiding in Final Fantasy XIV. So tell me why someone who beat Endwalker in fucking November is being trialed out for a mid-core static to do the second hardest ultimate in the game? Hi. So for those of you who don't know who I am, hi, I'm Gekkosquirrel. However, for today, you can call me ²ⁿᵈ. I'm a fighting game player who has been spending most of his time rotting in the Golden Saucer and doing my dailies. So, basically a fighting game player. I'm also a real warrior. Proper strength for the mountain. I'm a fell cleave hitting, monkey flip using, aggro ripping, raw intuition loving, inner release pumping warrior. While most players have a wide range of jobs they're looking to play, allowing for them to have an in-depth understanding of the game's functions, I think that's for cowards. We'll get to know each other very well over the course of this video, so I hope you enjoy yourself and stick around. Now, to my main audience, I promise I can explain. I've been streaming these runs for the past several months, and ² is a little bit more expressive than my Strive avatar, so I hope you don't mind the sudden change of pace. I may or may not have put more time into FF than Strive at this point, and because YouTube is a great platform that loves its creators and treats them with the utmost respect and care, I may or may not have been psychologically conditioned to turn my once peaceful and fun hobby into something I can mine for content. I'm sure the repercussions on my mental health will be worth it in the long run, right? Who am I kidding? I'm an ultimate raider now. I have no mental left to burn. I should probably give you the rundown on how we got here. Like I said, I finished the main Endwalker story in around October of last year. I spent the next few months trying to prog the current Savage tier. I would love to reveal to you how long it took me to get my first kill on P9S against Cock, but every time I try to remember, I feel a strange mental block. So let's just say it took longer than it should have. So long, in fact, that me and several other people got sick of retrying Party Finder over and over again, that we came up with a genius, foolproof idea on how to make sure we get good groups. What if instead of constantly bashing our head against the Party Finder wall, we make a group chat with all of us in it, and anytime we find someone who isn't a shitter and is willing to play, we add them. It's so genius! Why hasn't this idea been thought of before? So in January of this year, we set up a Discord, called it Fun Havers because we were gonna have fun, hopped into Party Finder because there was only like 4 of us at the time, and after 3 pulls, immediately disbanded and never used the Discord again. You could say we didn't exactly have a lot of fun. Honestly, this was a massive hit to my morale. I had only cleared P9S once, and it was over a month ago in December, and it was a fucking 1. Do you know how hard it is to get a 1 on your pass? A 1! Maybe I was wasting my time. Maybe I wasn't cut out for this. Is it my fault? Am I just a shitter? Who knows? Maybe raiding just ain't for me. And then a few days later, I got a DM. So, theoretically, in a hypothetical situation where me and Zell vouch for you to at least trial on P4S and P1 of DSR, how interested would you be? Because you've been performing on par with the paladin we had for top when he joined the group. Dragon Song Reprise is a level 90 ultimate that was released near the beginning of Endwalker, the current expansion, and it's considered to be the second hardest ultimate in the entire game. This fight is no joke, and is going to take months to get through. An 18-minute gauntlet of unforgiving mechanics, damage checks, and forced adjusting due to the random nature of some of the mechanics. Sign me the fuck up! If you've never been in a tryout for a static, allow me to explain how it goes. The group will pick a fight to test your abilities. This is generally a fight that everyone should know how to complete and have access to. In our example, I was going to be tried out in Pandemonium 4 Savage, along with the first phase of DSR. Getting into DSR requires you to beat the entirety of P4S, and since not everyone in the static had done that yet, this basically allowed us to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. If I could prove that I could beat P4S and hold my own in the first phase, I could probably hold my own for the rest of the fight. Tryouts are more than just a way to check your skill, though. You could be the best player in the world, literal rank 1 in whatever job that you play, but if you're an unbearable asshole, the static probably isn't going to want to keep you. The last thing you want is to be trapped in a Discord call with someone you literally cannot tolerate for several months. So I knew exactly what I needed to do and began preparing. And by that I mean I began obsessively watching the guides and clear POVs for P4S in the first phase of DSR. I didn't expect it to get much past the prog point since this was a trial and, oh, you know, the second hardest fight in the game, so this should be more than enough. Something you should know about me is that I get stressed pretty easily, and when I'm stressed, I begin to overcompensate like crazy. If I'm stressed about work, I'm gonna start doing way more work than I actually really need to. So I would watch the guides on repeat over and over and over and over again until I couldn't close my eyes without seeing the boss's face.
What's up, dudes? Max here.
And then, before I knew it, the day had come. I sat down on my PC, logged in, took a sip of my Gamer Subs, code he's Gekking, and got ready to play, before realizing I was an hour early because Lynn had given me the wrong time. Thanks, Lynn.
Actually, does anyone have markers?
No.
I don't remember shit though. I remember the mechanics kind of, but I don't remember how to do them.
Why should gear so shit? They are two as usual.
Lynn, what is your gear?
It's my gear. Oh, wait, that's the wrong gear loadout. Hold up.
You put on like DSR bits.
Yeah, I have DSR bits on. Here we go. That's better.
Jesus Christ.
I never actually had a clear P1 of this ever. And last time I did this was like 5 months ago.
We did it 2 years ago, and we didn't have clear P1s either, so it's good.
It's now a bad time to say that I've never seen this fight ever in my life.
That's great.
Oh my god. It's okay. I did this fight in my sleep. I haven't actually done it.
Yeah, the warp thingy.
The guide, right now. Yeah, good idea.
Let's go and put like a screen share. We can all watch it together. Well, this is a good start. We pull the boss, and it's just an easy one-time pull. Just a clean pull and kill like always. Just kidding, we fuck up the first mechanic in the fight.
No, not Diana. Diana, not you.
We did that the
Yeah,
opposite.
I was gonna say, we did that wrong.
We did that the opposite.
Yeah, we did it wrong.
Let's go.
I was right.
I was so confused. I'm like, are you assuming me? I didn't want to get into an argument in my first poll on a trial, so I didn't object against it even after getting rescued into the wrong position. But just know, I knew they were wrong. After that, we actually got a clean second pull, and I got to demonstrate my tank abilities by pressing buttons good and moving the boss to the place. Wow, tanking truly is the hardest role in the game. I died on the tank swap. It's fine though, even with a death, we kill him on the second pull and get pushed to phase 2. Just 13 minutes into the trial and we were already past the door boss. Granted, the echo was definitely helping us speed things up, which I thought was a little weird for a trial, but I'm not going to question it. Okay, maybe I will a little bit. Whatever, it's time for phase 2. The second phase of the fight is honestly pretty fucking cool. The boss will basically show you the mechanic before it happens, and then show you in what order everything is going to happen. So while it looks like everything is going to kill you, not all of it is going to go off at the same time, and you need to adjust in order to make sure that you resolve the mechanic and don't get hit. I, however, am a moron. The first mechanic has you stand in a safe spot and then rotate to a tower, then continue to rotate to another safe spot. Pretty fucking simple. I went the wrong direction and wiped the raid. No one seemed to notice it was me, which is good, but I still felt bad and needed some clarification. So when it does the giant AoEs, obviously east and west if it's safe, do I go to east party stack or west party stack? I may have also...
East is closer to your position, so sorry,
Well,
west.
you go to west,
was
you are
West,
main.
okay,
North
right.
and west. Yeah, it's north and west for us.
Okay.
Not for us. You're with me.
Us!
Is east left or right?
Alright, repull, do the mechanic, pog at the boss's health bar, and then we get to see Act 2. Act 2 is more of the same, but now you're tethered together with someone else in the raid and need to make sure that you resolve it at the right time. What do all the tethers do? Does this look like a fucking guide? Basically, all you need to know is if you're a tank and you get the dark tether, you need to go out immediately, and if you don't, you stay in and you go out second. That's all I needed to know, so that's all that you need to know. Pretty simple, right? Pretty easy mechanic for us to deal with. We immediately mess it up.
I got the fucking tank mechanic on Act 2, bro.
I feel like I was walking through fucking Vietnam in the middle. He's standing far right when he shouldn't be, so he's gonna big kick.
Oh my god!
This is what you get for using Focus Swiftcast, you old bitch.
It's like tanked in.
Bro, I
No,
Actual fear.
Yeah!
Wait for the sing stream to go first before you break anything.
Slowly but surely, we were making our way through the fight, seeing mechanic after mechanic, getting cleaner with every pull. Most of the time. Oh fuck, I forgot to press the inbound button. I just forgot. Until eventually, after a whole hour of pulls, we struck gold.
Oh shit, he's LB1.
Purple's take towers, so it's important for purples to take it.
Purple's
Wait for the
clockwise
second.
one.
Wait.
2%.
Come on,
Oh.
let's kill it. Fuck it up.
Yo, actually, oh, you also got an achievement. Hello?
Chest piece. Let's go.
Yeah.
What the chest piece is gonna drop? It's
The chest piece is guaranteed to drop.
Yeah.
I saw
Also,
fight over the mount.
Oh shit, there's a mount? Give me that shit.
Fight.
Fuck this. Give me that mount, my guy.
I got a 46 on the chest piece.
Oh,
I got the horn. Yippee! I got the fucking mount.
you beat a one roll on the mount.
fuck you, Diana.
P4S had taken an hour and a bit of our time, but we managed to clear the entire fight. Now we were able to get to the second part of the trial, the first phase of Dragon Song Reprise. Normally being able to clear the first phase of any ultimate would be a massive achievement. However, the first phase of DSR is special. Why? We'll get onto it later. But just know that the likelihood is if I manage to get past the first phase, I'll probably be accepted into the static. Alright, here we go. We find ourselves back at the end of the vault, just as we were chasing King Forden onto that whack-ass blimp. Thankfully for me, the first phase of DSR is one of, if not the easiest phases in the entire fight, with only a few things to worry about. I had prepared for this extensively, and by that I mean I watched the guide every night before bed. Because of this, I was completely prepared and ready for anything that these knights would throw at me. I messed up every mechanic at least once. It's fine though, everyone was rusty. It's not like I did something stupid like forget to take the tank buster away from the group, or get knocked into the death wall more than once. I did too late. Or get hit with a death cloud.
Stay right at the tip of this.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
oh yeah.
Despite my constant dying, this phase is pretty simple. Every mechanic can be boiled down to read the cast bar or just stand in the correct place. Have the thing above your head, fight for your favorite letter. Don't have it stand behind the boss. See the guy in the arena, don't stand in his path. And watch the fucking clouds. Got a PlayStation marker, just stand in the correct position and just let the knockback do its thing. That's not supposed to happen. So remember how I talked about how being a warrior is the best thing ever and they're objectively the best class and the only one I have at 90? Well, they're so objectively the best class that when you go into your 1 minute burst called Inner Release, you become immune to a bunch of status effects, including knockback. I would like to say that I adjusted my play to do the super hard thing of clicking off my buff, but no. Eventually though, 15 pulls in, something magical happens. I take the tank buster, we bait the beams, we survive the cleaves, we position ourselves, and I step into the knight's oh shit. It's fine. I get res, get knocked back along with the group, forget to reposition the boss because I'm very smart, but eventually, both knights fall. And thus, the phase ends with another DPS check. It's fine. We aced it first time. And with that, the first phase of DSR is over.
Woo! I don't know the fight from this point. I didn't study that far.
Do you want to just have 2 minutes just to watch like the
Yeah.
first couple?
Yeah.
mechanics?
To be honest, we can explain just the first couple of mechanics by ourselves, and we can actually see them, we can practice them
Oh, I
fairly
wanted to
quickly.
watch the video.
You want to watch the video? Okay.
Now, because I didn't exactly expect to do really well because of, well, you know, we still had like an hour-ish before the end of the raid, so fuck it. The group graciously gives me a few minutes to watch the guide and figure out the first major mechanic. Strength of the ward. After the first couple of pulls, we shake the rust off. Fuck.
Oh shit, okay.
And we find ourselves at Strength of the Wall. This mechanic is known as a trio mechanic, as multiple different mechanics are going off at the same time. Blame you, Cobb. The mechanic starts with Forden fucking off and causing his goons to do the fighting for him. 3 knights dive the arena, a giant shockwave comes from the center, and then the mechanic is over. Halfway done, because Forden decides that he wants to go to the edge of the arena to jog his wiener a little bit. 2 knights have tank buster tethers that me and the off-tank need to take, and everyone else blows up. I don't know how to deal with that bit of the mechanic. I'm a warrior. To say that everything is a bit of a clusterfuck would be an understatement, and trying to figure this out when you've seen 3 minutes of a guide is challenging. But that didn't faze me because I'm a true X-swinging, burst window pumping, inner release using warrior. Hear my battle cry, Forden! You shall hit the floor this day! Man more! Safe to say that most of the pulls ended up with all of us hitting the floor, with the game setting itself to light mode. But eventually, after 13 pulls, something magical happened.
Taking right side.
Okay. Towers.
Alright.
And
Heal
we're
up.
good.
Yeah, heal up for the Craigs.
Mitigate, yeah. I'm using
Up mid.
Okay, I see.
Group 1 opposite of the Dark Knight, Group 1 opposite of the Dark Knight.
I switched that. God, just that group 1 twice.
Can we go counter?
Don't look. No PP. No PP.
Counterclockwise, we're moving counterclockwise. You looked.
Wasn't.
Oh, you said counterclock. Oh yeah, I went clockwise.
Despite some interesting calls, we managed to make it to Sanctity of the Ward. Most of us. The rest of the session went pretty well, but we never made it further past Sanctity of the Ward. Considering it's the hardest mechanic of the phase, I'd say that this was a successful trial to say the least. I hang around with the people at Discord for about 20 minutes as everyone compares their mount sizes.
Scales.
Look at this tiny ass bird.
Oh no, don't get on the fucking bird. Oh, there he goes.
Oh god, no. Alright, okay. Alright, okay. Calm down.
Did he show his cock?
Cock also scales with grace, I see. Before eventually it's time for their fated conversation. I will leave you all to your discretion. Goodbye. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm nervous, I'm not gonna lie to you. the idea that they might just be like, I think I played good enough. Like the prog point, or like the point that we thought we were gonna get to, wasn't even Sanctity of the Ward, and we made it to that. Yeah, I'd never seen Sanctity of the Ward before in my life. I'd seen like videos of other people doing it, but in ways that like you wouldn't be able to do anything on it. So, but I still think the first session tryouts, P4S, both phases, phase 1 of DSR is like good. No matter what happens, I'm happy with my performance. I think I did well. As you could probably tell from my voice, I was nervous. And I mean really nervous. As a reminder, I had only cleared the first 2 fights of this raid tier, and one of them had me passing at a 1, a fucking 1! I wasn't exactly looking forward to their decision. I felt like I had performed well, but every mistake I made flashed back into my mind. All the wipes, the stupid decisions, the mismitigation, the unoptimal rotation, it was all flashing back to me. All I could do now is wait. So, I have good news and I have bad news. Which one do you want first? Hit me with the bad news. I ran out of energy drinks. The good news is you win! Yippee! To my surprise, I had not only made it into the static, but the static was impressed with my play. I apparently needed to correct some mitigation, but in my defense, I'm a moron. With that, my fate was sealed. And for the next several months, I was on a mission in order to clear my first ultimate. It's time for us to beat DSR. Now that I had successfully tricked the group into thinking I'm not only a good player but a nice person, it's about time we actually talk about the fight that we're going to be doing. Dragon Song Reprise is a fight that retells the events of the Dragon Song War. The fight is split into 7 different phases. Well, it's more like 6, but we'll get to it. The first phase is the one which we blitz past with those 2 bozos, so I'm not going to spend much time on it. Once you beat the bosses, the arena shifts and you find yourself in Forden's Dome of Doom. Welcome to the start of the actual fight. Those first 2 boys were just the bouncers. If you can't get past them, you literally cannot get into the main fight. Which I guess is true for every first phase now that I think about it. But these are different, as once you beat the 2 knights and the black mage, you don't have to beat them again for the rest of your lockout. What? Seriously? For real? Yes. That seriously for real. This fight is the only ultimate with a checkpoint in it. During original progression, people assumed that this would make it one of the easier types of ultimates, but they can't read the title. So why is there a checkpoint? Oh, don't worry, you'll see soon enough. Anyway, phase 2 has you facing off against King Forden, along with the Knights of the Heavens Ward. During this phase, Forden will decide that this fight is cringe and hop out of the arena for letting his knights do all of the work for him. He does this twice, with the parts in between being a combination of raid-wide damage and tank busters, meaning I'm actually going to have to use my mitigation properly. And suddenly the weight of my situation sinks in on me. The phase has 2 downtime mechanics. The first is Strength of the Ward, the mechanic that we already completed, where you basically just dodge a bunch of things, take tank tethers, everyone takes a tower, and we don't blow up. Hopefully. Fucking tower! Wow! Then, after another tank buster combo, because apparently Forden hasn't heard the meaning of the word cooldown, we get Sanctity of the Ward, and this mechanic is a bit more difficult. After baiting dives from the Dark Knight, a bunch of towers show up all around the arena with a bunch of different AoEs. Along with this, 2 players get marked with meteors that will cause rocks to drop on their head every few seconds. If the rocks are too close, they'll explode and kill everyone. So you have to run around the arena to make sure that they don't do that. How do we solve this mechanic? Pray. Pick a primal and pray. Just kidding. We have a system, but I'm lazy and don't want to explain it, so... Ooh, you like my explanation so much that you want to subscribe and give me all your money on Patreon. Ooh, and you want to go to the stream because I'm funny. Ooh. This phase really sets in just how much shit we're in for the rest of the fight. You gotta understand, this group is filled with elite level gamers. Everyone here has cleared several different ultimates, including the hardest ultimate in the game. Hell, the reason it's called Tops Only is because they made this group to beat Top. It's in the name! Were we being slowed down because someone in the group wasn't comfortable with the fight or ultimates in general? Who can say? But we kept going over and over and over and over and over until eventually something happens. Sanctity of the ward goes off. Everyone moves to their correct position. The meteors run around in their funny little circle. We all stand and wait for the tower to go off, and then no one dies.
Holy shit, well done.
Holy shit, let's go!
Yay, stand this.
Your reprisal.
Reprisal.
Yeah. A little bit too early, I wasn't gonna say. I'm reprising.
With just shy of 100 pulls on phase 2, we had taken down King Forden. It had been a stressful 3 sessions, but we had finally seen Forden fall. Welcome to the 3rd phase, also known as Kyle. Unlike King Forden, Nidhogg here isn't a bitch and stays in the arena all times during the phase. Yes, this means that this is the fabled full uptime phase, meaning we can basically always hit the boss while doing the mechanics. So this makes our DPS players very happy. This phase technically has 2 mechanics, however one of them is basically the entire phase and the second one is designed to give the tanks PTSD, but we'll get onto that one soon enough. The way that this phase works is that everyone in the party gets a number and either an arrow or a circle. The number describes when a Nidhogg clone is going to dive you. When you're dived by the Nidhogg clone, you leave a tower behind you. This is where the arrows come in. If you have no arrow on your debuff, you will leave the tower exactly where you stood. If you have an arrow, you will move the tower in the direction of that arrow, depending on where your character is facing. You cannot take your own tower because you get a debuff that causes you to take more damage from the tower. When you take a tower, you also have to bait a cleave from the new Nidhogg clone to make sure that you don't hit the party. So you take the dives, take towers, don't hit the party, and that's basically the entire phase. Easy, right? Yeah, kinda. The movement that you need in this phase is tight, especially because the boss is causing you to move in and out of the hitbox while doing all of this. But if I'm entirely honest, this might be the most fun mechanic in the entire fight. Don't get me wrong, it's not like the rest of the fight sucks, but being forced to do the whole rotation while dealing with positional checks and making sure that you're not gonna kill your entire party with a shitty tower placement is fun, engaging, and reliably challenging, even when you get it down. That doesn't mean we didn't fuck it up, though. This phase has a lot of moving parts, and the damage downs are brutal, so during prog it wasn't uncommon for one person to mess one thing up, and suddenly it was back to getting stomped on by Forden again. Not to mention, after this mechanic happens, 2 more tank tethers spawn that both tanks need to take, and you know what that means. What?
It's
Did you
fine,
take my
it's
tether
fine,
back?
it's fine, it's fine.
It's not fine! Just because this phase is fun doesn't mean it was easy. Remember, we had barely managed to get to phase 2. So not only did we now have to get the whole phase down, but we need to make sure that our second phase was clean. Guess what we failed to clean up quickly? Just because we had beaten phase 2 didn't mean we could just breeze through it every time. You know that checkpoint we get? Yeah, we never get that privilege again. So from here on out, we just had to clear the entire fight in one shot without any wipes or missed checks. That is a nice way to say that we wiped a lot on this phase. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess. But after about a week of progression, aka 3 sessions, we managed to push forward and kill Nidhogg.
Yeah, okay, the proc.
What do we do now?
Rage.
Welcome to the easiest phase of the fight. We are not counting those clowns. In this phase, we have to beat the shit out of Nidhogg and Hraesvelgr's eyes before they cause us to die of cringe or some shit. I don't know, they kind of just explode. To do this, we take 2 sets of orbs with the correct tethers. If we take damage with a red tether, we hurt the red eye. And if we take damage with a blue tether, we heal the blue eye. Wait, what? It's fine though. This phase is absolute piss, and we never made any mistake. Never ever. After 26 consecutive pulls, I made that number up, we have finally gotten to the end of the Dragon Song War. Wow, we're so cool. I can't believe this is the easiest ultimate raid they ever added to the game. Thanks, Square Enix.
I'm back in the fucking building again!
Yes, once you get past the eyes phase, you find yourself at the end of phase 1 again. Once again, you find yourself staring down that unavoidable situation. Harshafont is going to die again, just like last time. But what if he didn't? With the power of this limit break free that Zelda didn't use to res us while we were in the fucking wall again, we can give tank LB to Harshathon. Not only does this mean he takes less damage, but also he's able to be healed. We just have to play out this phase the same way we did at the start. Nothing could go wrong, right? After we successfully saved the boy, we successfully managed to change history. I'm sure nothing bad will happen because of this. Look, guys, we did it! We went to this circle thing and killed all these dragons! We're so cool! We've stopped the Dragon Song War! Who the hell's this guy? Welcome to Phase 5, in which we fight King Forden. Now that he's not pretending to be a wrinkly old fart, we have to take him down in a phase where he hits us with raid wides and tank busters before he flies away to the edge of the arena, and his knights hit us with different mechanics. Is anyone else getting deja vu? The biggest difference between this phase and the second phase is that the mechanics are different. Alright, fine, I'll explain more. Basically, the first mechanic has 2 players get tethers that cannot be switched, and these tethers cause 2 knights to fly directly towards them. One person gets a deformation, which means that they're going to explode in a few seconds, and the rest get nothing. To resolve this mechanic, everyone moves to a specific spot so that they can be safe, and then they move forward a little bit because the dragon put little wind balls below you called twisters. Don't stand in them, it's not very funny. After that, everyone runs to the warrior, and not me, the Heaven's Knight Warrior, whatever the fucking called. I don't care. It's fucking Heaven's Ward. That's it. It's the name of the expansion, Gwaine. But not before baiting giant AoEs so they don't cause the safe spot to be a not-so-safe spot. Oh yeah, lightning strikes also go off on 2 players. It sounds like a clusterfuck, but this mechanic is basically just a positional check with extra moving parts. As is the next mechanic, where half of the raid gets a debuff that will kill them if it expires, unless they go into a little com puddle that another player drops somewhere else in the arena. And PlayStation markers, because of course. So what do you do if you have an entire phase where all of the mechanics can basically be boiled down to a complex version of stand and let resolve? You play Roblox. Behold, my worst fucking nightmare. This is not Final Fantasy XIV. Please keep your anger for later. We'll need it for the Double Dragon phase. This is a webpage that attempts to simulate different Final Fantasy XIV Ultimate mechanics so you can practice the mechanics without getting to that phase of the fight. It's a very useful tool in order to practice different phases, and it even allows for you to use bots if you don't want to drag your entire static into hell. I hate this fucking simulator so much. Ignoring the fact that you get forced to play as a female Lalafell, which goes against everything I believe is a peak warrior, the damage values on some of the attacks are just not quite right. This is a bit of a nitpick, but some of the mechanics have it so that your character will drop dead in the simulation when in the actual fight, you'd probably survive that. Also, sometimes the mechanics don't load in properly for some people, so other people just have to guess where to stand and what to do. I know that we're here to get familiar with the mechanics, and it's easier doing this than going through the entire fight just to see Forden a second time. But like, come on, bro. We still managed to get to that point after doing the simulations, and we still fuck it up. I'm going to explode with rage. Phase 5 didn't take us that long. Now, legit, we got to Phase 5 on the 13th of March, and not even 1 week later, we had cleared the entire phase and made it onto P6. And this is where our speedy progression would slow to a grinding halt. With his solemn vow broken, Hraesvelgr flies into a raid. Welcome to the hardest phase of the entire fight, known mostly as Double Dragons. Double Dragons has you fighting both Nidhogg and Hraesvelgr at the exact same time, and they're both here to do one thing and one thing only: kill you. Both dragons have a fun mechanic, which you constantly have to juggle. Nidhogg gives a random DPS a debuff, which reduces your outgoing healing by a ludicrous amount. The debuff will cause a small AoE around the DPS when it runs out. If anyone else is standing in the area, they get the debuff. If the debuff fails to pass, Nidhogg enrages and begins one-shotting everyone with anything that hits you, including auto attacks. It's pretty cringe, so you gotta make sure that someone has the debuff at all times. And since it reduces outgoing healing, you can't exactly give it to the healers. So guess what that means? Hate these fucking dragons. Okay, well if that's Nidhogg's main mechanic, then what's Hraesvelgur's? How does he enrage? I'm glad you asked. If Hraesvelgur kills anyone, he immediately enrages and causes all of his attacks to one-shot. I'm sorry? What? So basically, if anyone dies in the phase in any way that isn't specifically making sure that Nidhogg kills you or yeeting yourself into the wall, Hraesvelgur is gonna start killing everyone off one by one. This guy's supposed to be the good dragon who likes humans, by the way. This isn't the only thing that will one-shot you, as if you don't keep both of the dragons at even HP throughout the phase, they'll use a mechanic that causes you to immediately die. So you have to keep them at even HP. Not to mention there's a weird mechanic that has you overlap fire and ice cone AoEs in order to cancel them out. But I'm playing warrior, so I literally don't have to worry about that. There is a bit of a problem with progging this phase that anyone who's done it will tell you. In order to even get an attempt at double dragons, you have to spend 13 minutes on the previous phases of the fight. 13 whole minutes of intense mechanics that we still haven't mastered yet. So getting another chance at this fight was hard and required us to be consistent. Do you know what isn't hard and doesn't require us to be consistent, though? No! But we had bigger problems than our summoner dragging us into the fucking simulator again. God damn it, Herb. I hate this fucking sim. I swear to God, if you make me use the simulator one more goddamn time, I'm gonna flip a fucking lid. I swear to God. At this point in the timeline, we were around halfway through March, meaning we had been progging for about a month and a half at this point. Well, I say a month and a half. We had just under 9 hours a week spread across 3 separate days to do this fight, so we were making good progress, all things considered. But real life was starting to catch up with us. See, 2 of our players had real-life obligations that would require them to not be able to play for 2 weeks during the month of April. With the way that these were spread out, it would mean we'd be down a person at all times during the month, sometimes down 2 people at the same time until May. So because of that, and because of how close we were to finishing the fight, we decided to not raid in April and come back as soon as it became May. This left us with about 2 weeks in order to see the final phase and kill the boss. If we didn't, we'd have to wait a whole month before going back for our next chance. I guess it's time to grind. We had a good run, but unfortunately, we weren't able to make it past Nidhogg and Hraesvelgur. For now, our runs had come to an end. I knew if we just had a few more sessions, we'd probably be done. Phase 7 isn't crazy hard. In fact, it's one of the simplest phases in the fight. If we got to it, and I know we could get to it, we would have absolutely aced it and probably beaten the whole thing. Oh well, not much I can do about it now. I had just somehow successfully won my local fighting game tournament as Viken. I would spend time celebrating my victory with my friends at the venue, but I had something more important to do. As Lynn and Zell had finally come back home, and with a few days of rest, they were both ready to go back into DSR. And guess what we did on our second session back?
Let's go!
Let's go!
Okay.
Shut up.
With both of the dragons dead, Astinian was once again free, but bound to the eyes. Unlike the previous timeline, though, a familiar old man shows up to crash our party. Now, with the power of both dragons' eyes, Forden's plan is complete, and he can ascend to the true form that he wanted this entire time. Welcome to the 7th and final phase of DSR, Dragon King Forden. As I said, this phase is one of the easiest and ends up being more of a consistency and nerves check than anything else. Forden has decided he actually wants to stay and fight us this time, and thus has 3 simple mechanics that we need to deal with. Exaflares, slow-moving AoEs that go in a line, tower stacks, and proximity AoE damage. Combine these with an in and out tell, and that is the entire phase. I am not joking. It only makes sense then that because I chatted shit about how easy the phase was, I immediately hit the floor upon seeing the first mechanic. Boom! Good job, Gwen. But in all reality, this phase isn't that hard. As long as you don't greed, play consistently, keep a cool head, and check who's tanking the boss, you'll be fine. So, we kept on pushing. There's something pretty important to note about these final few pulls as well. See, around this time, some fucking loser somewhere out in the middle of the world decided that nerds like me shouldn't have their fun, and began DDoSing the Square Enix Final Fantasy XIV servers. This meant that randomly, at random points throughout the day, several of the data centers would just kick everybody out of them because they needed to reboot. This would happen consistently in our last several pulls. We'd get pretty far into the fight, and then randomly, we'd be booted off of the servers. Not only did we have to deal with the boss and their mechanics, we had to deal with the RNG of the servers shutting down. So we just had to play our best and hope that RNG was on our side. Yes! Yes! We're doing it! Just one more set of towers and we're home free. This is it! Keep pushing! We're so close! Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! So close. Once again. So close. What a shame. I really thought we were gonna get him. This time. As my lifeless body laid on the snowy ground, somewhere in the real world, another stream of packets would begin to flood the servers at rapid speed. Once again, the servers were going to be taken offline, and with that, our group were going to be done for the night. Fuck.
It's fine, fine.
Kill it, kill it!
Someone needs to take the other tower.
Tank tower, get out of the tank tower.
Which tower am I taking?
Yes!
Oh,
Good shit.
Oh, all the
nice.
blood sacrifice this run.
I don't think I breathed for the entire phase 7 month.
Despite me eating shit, we had managed to kill Dragon King Forden, and thus, our DSR prog journey came to an end. This experience was something so different to what I was used to, but I'm glad that I did it. Not only because I got a shiny new weapon and a useless title, but I managed to get something even better than that. A great group of new friends. And then I betrayed their trust by dragging them into UCOP to try and clear it all in one day. But that's a story for another time. Thank you all for watching. This is normally where I do the patron read, but I wanted to chill a little bit and remind everyone I do actually have a Patreon. And also, this was very hard and very scary to make. I hope you do all enjoy it. If you do enjoy it, please stick around. Please subscribe. And I might do more FF stuff in the future because I play this game a little bit too much at this point. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next